Welcome to Haunted Whittier Tours. My name's Jacob. I'm going to be your storyteller tonight. Now, as we go on our little tour tonight, there's just a couple of rules that we're going to need to follow. We're going to cross the street several times tonight. On my tour, we talk about ghosts. We do not create them. You can laugh at that. It's okay. I love Whittier because it's an old town with a great history and with wonderful people. My family dates back to right after World War I in this area. I have deep roots here. I think it's a special place, and the ghost tour is a way of sharing that and sharing that history with everybody that comes to visit. This particular church has been an important part of our community for many years. The woman who shared this story with me, she sees a man in 1930s era clothing, looks to be a minister. He walks right by her and then disappears through the wall as if he had never been there. People have said to me, they're like, do you make these stories up? And I say, you know what? It'd be a lot easier if I did, but it wouldn't be a very good tour if I did. You know, you have to talk to a lot of people. And I started by just walking into neighborhoods, and when people were outside their houses, I'd say, hey, can you tell me something about your home? Tell me something special about the building. And sometimes they'll look at you and say, you know, it's haunted, right? Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Welcome to the Whittier Post Office. This wonderful Art Deco building dates back to the 1930s. Now, there is a belief among some people that when a building is important to them, that part of their soul stays behind in the building, and this is another example of that. The Quakers that started settling in this area after the American Civil War, they believed that education was important, and they set up Whittier College here in the 1890s, and it's continued to grow ever since. These buildings are very old, and some of the people that have come through here have stuck around. We are currently in the Wanberg building. People that have spent time in this building hear a lot of interesting things, footsteps, doors opening and closing on their own. I've never heard any stories about anything particularly malevolent in this building, but there are other places here at Whittier College that have some more dark history. Welcome to Central Park. This is one of the oldest parks here in Whittier. It does date back to the 1890s. When I initially built the tour, I just happened to drive by Central Park, and it kind of hit me. There is nothing better than this. This is the spot. If you look behind me, there's a well. That well has been here since the park was built. I've seen pictures of Civil War veterans gathered around the front of it. One of our Civil War veterans, a man by the name of Barclay Charles, donated it to the community. There's the statue of John Greenleaf Whittier, who we're named after, that's smack in the middle of the town. I like that as a backdrop. I couldn't ask for a better place. It's almost like a stage. Now, residents in this area have told me that they have seen men vested in black with these wide-brim felt hats just standing in different locations of the park. We believe those are probably the Quaker settlers, and we do stop at locations that have been used in Hollywood films. The one that everybody knows, and I think it's an absolute favorite part of the tour, is from the film Hocus Pocus from the 1990s. There's the Devil's House right there. That's where that was filmed. And I should mention, it actually does have a real name. It was the Addams family house, which I find ironic, but nonetheless. But we do stop in the exact spot, and we can see where Kathy and Jimmy, Bette Midler, and Sarah Jessica Parker put their brooms while they were talking to the man dressed as the devil.
It's the Sanderson sisters, right?
And what is even better is when they're invited inside the home, that interior scene was filmed inside the old Emerson place. And if you know Whittier, you know that name from the White Emerson mortuary that's been around since the 1890s. When people say, I want to go to the spookiest place, I point them in two different directions. I say either drive Turnbull Canyon Road, because there are ghosts along that highway, and the other place is Founders Park. I normally don't do this stop on the tour. This is something special for the viewers of the SoCal scene. I am standing in Founders Park. Now, if you grew up in Whittier, you probably don't know it as Founders Park. You know it as Dead Man's Park. Why? This is the original Whittier Cemetery dating back to the 1800s. The headstones were moved, but the bodies were still left here. One of the people that we talk about is a female undertaker, and her spirit has been seen lingering in Founders Park. And the people that have shared this story with me, they don't know who she is. They've just seen a woman in black holding a red rose standing in the middle of the park, and then she's gone. This is a funeral procession that took place right here. I want to continue to do these tours at least monthly. I'm working with a restaurant called 6740 on Greenleaf. We do them out of there, and we do another one in the Whittier Museum. And if you want to have an experience, it seems like we have a lot of weird things happen on that particular tour. I do consider myself an ambassador for our town. The best thing for me is, and it's happened more than once, where the tour ends and somebody pulls me aside, they'll say, "You made Whittier cool, and I'm proud to live here." That's a victory for me.